Recently, I heard the Spirit of truth like never before. And if you were raised in religion like me, then you probably heard that due to Moses' failure at the rock, God would not allow Moses to enter the promised land. He brought him to it, he let him see it, he brought him to the border of it, but you can't enter it. What a tease, right? I mean, when you think about it, that's a horrible tease. But is that the picture of the Father that we see revealed in Jesus? This is the picture that religion has created, that God makes all of these promises to Moses, right? And the children of Israel. But one act of failure on Moses' part shifted the mind and the plan of God. And so we're tempted to think that if we mess up in one area, that's it, you're out. And as I was meditating on this one morning, I heard this question inside. Who told you Moses didn't enter the promised land? And my first response was, well, the Bible. I mean, it's in the Bible because of his failure, he couldn't enter in and didn't enter. I've heard preachers preach on it. I've heard teachers teach on it. And that's why I love the Spirit of truth, because he takes you beyond a religious text on a page and into the reality of revelation. Let's allow that to happen right now together. I want you to come in close and I want you to think with me for just a moment. Moses and Elijah met Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration. Look at where Moses was standing with Jesus. The Mount of Transfiguration. Where was that? The Promised Land. Moses was standing in the Promised Land, but not by any of his effort. Oh man, this is about to get really good right here. When my eyes opened to that reality, a flood of what I call empowerment truths were breathed into my thinking. And quickly, I want to release 4 of these to you, and then I want to invite you to allow the grace of God to eternally embrace you and help you overcome religion, all right? Empowerment truth number 1, the law. A mindset dominated by the law and the commandments only brings you to the shadow of something. Grace brings you to the substance. The law only let Moses come to the border, but grace brought him all the way over. Man, that is so good. The law and the commandments, which Moses was dominated by, only allowed him to get to the edge of the promised land. But grace said, I got you, Moses. Here's the substance. Jesus is the substance. Are you getting this? The true inheritance was never about real estate. It was about a person. And guess what? Right there on the Mount of Transfiguration, Moses got both, the land and the man. Do you see how rich in mercy God is? How abundant His grace is? Which brings me to the next empowerment truth. Number 2, when grace shows up, it shows out. Jesus not only redeemed Moses from the failure at the rock, but brought him into the reality of the promise. This proves that the grace of God brings us beyond our worst moment in life and into the destiny which is greater than we can even imagine. Moses found himself standing in the promised land with the promised one. That's greater than he ever imagined. Empowerment truth number 3, grace doesn't stop breathing after you do. That's probably the most powerful truth I received in all of this. You know, I was raised thinking that after our last breath, that's it. I mean, that's it. There's a major shift in how God deals with you after you die. It's kind of like He gets off of His throne of grace and then puts on these judge's robes, and now you stand trial for every deed you've ever done. But Scripture reveals that there is no shadow of turning in God. He never changes. He was the same yesterday, He is that today, and He's that forever. He never gives up on you or His promise for you. And this account with Moses proves that even after we die, Moses died, but grace kept breathing. Grace is your eternal oxygen. It was over a millennium after Moses died, 1,000 years after Moses died, that he found himself standing in the promised land with the promised one. God never gives up on you, even after your last breath. Empowerment truth number 4. Your promised land is not a place you possess, but a person who has possessed you. Our promised land is simply this. It's the reality of our union in and with Christ. Isn't that beautiful? And there is nothing you can ever do that can undo what Christ has done. As we see in Moses, even our worst failure in life cannot stop the force of grace from bringing us into God's plan, purpose, and destiny.